Hello guys, how are you doing today? Welcome to another great and very special episode of the Piano Talks with Iason, the podcast where I interview pianists around the globe that I admire the most, and it's uploaded on my YouTube channel and everywhere. Welcome everybody who is joining the live right now. Today's guest is no other than one of the most passionate classical pianists, female one, or also a composer and a human rights activist. She's a music educator, and she is no other than Chloe Flower. So give her a warm round of applause as she is joining the live. I'm so ready. How are you guys?
Hi! I'm gonna try and use headphones. Or should I not?
Okay.
Is it okay without headphones?
Yeah, it's okay without because without recording. How are you?
Hi everyone. Let me get my. I'm like so bad at this still. Okay. Okay, cool. You can see me, right? Can you see me?
Yes, the
Okay.
sound is perfect. How are you?
Hi. It's cold here. Where are you?
I'm in Greece.
Oh my God, I wish I was in Greece. You're
You been
so lucky.
there?
Never been to Greece yet. Can you believe?
I wish I've been in New York. We can change. You can come and.
It's so cold. Can you see? It's so cold. Today is like really cold, but I'm good.
Thank you for your time. I understand you have a very full schedule. Everyone is telling us. Yeah, I'm so thrilled to talk to you. We don't have much time, so I'll get right to it. I made a short introduction about you. I'm not gonna say more. If you want to add something to it, just say it.
No,
But
it's such an honor to be here with you. Thanks for wanting to talk to me.
of course. Uh, Thank you. Yeah, thank you for making classical, cool again, and for just being yourself, which is one of the greatest honor I can give to you. And I really admire you. I told you in the comments, and it's funny how we met. You commented on one of my posts as I shared some of my compositions, and you just put it some heart. I love it. Thank you so much for that,
You're
and it's really
amazing.
yeah. So I really want to get deep with you in this because I'm all about getting into the core of the things, and I really want to ask you about you know uh, your why. Everyone in this world, when we do something, we have a why. What is your why? What drives you? I'm very inspired by the Simon Sinek book, Finding
Yeah,
Your Why.
I don't think there's anything on the planet that I could do for 12 hours a day or even longer sometimes. Like when I'm working on a film score, like I'll be working 16 hours a day. I don't think there's anything, you too, right? Like that we can do for that long without loving it. And, I often get asked that question, why? But I don't know. It's just me. Like, I don't think there's anything else that I could do that much and still love it. And even though it's hard, it's like when you're struggling and all of the different jobs I've had growing up, music has always been my number one. And so I think it's just inside me. I don't have like a good scientific reason as to why I chose music. It just really worked for me and I was good at it. So, something that I was luckily able to pursue, which is why, I focus so much on music education because I was so lucky to have that, to have music be so accessible to me. Whereas, a lot of kids are so undiscovered and don't have a program that can like harness their talent if it's there. And even if it's not there, it's like music has been such a savior to so many, including myself. And just to be able to play and write music is so therapeutic in itself. So.
This is great. Yeah, exploring and discovering who you are and sharing to the world. I'm so curious because you have reached a level where you have accomplished so much and you have collaborated with great people. And I really can't imagine what the future will look like, you know.
For both
How
of
do
us.
you, right? How do you go higher than the place that you have been right now. I mean, this is a pretty high level that you are at the moment.
I think for both of us, we are always striving to do more. And they say, my mother always told me when I was younger, she's like, never strive for an award because you'll win an award, and then what? You'll want something else. You'll never be satisfied. So, I think for me, just continuing to be able to do what I do as a job. Have a living to support myself and not have to rely on anybody. And also, enjoying what I'm doing and helping others figure out if they want. I really care about music education and music therapy because I really feel, especially, in the last couple of years, you saw how much music has such a huge impact on people's lives. And having that access is so important to me. So I think as long as I'm able to continue doing that and sharing my music, it's such an honor. Like, I don't know, obviously, I want to collaborate with more artists and perform more. And eventually, like, one of my dreams is to have, a Christmas tour and like to tour. I love holiday music. So I'm not religious. I just love holiday music. So that's one of my dreams. And to be able to do that, I think right now, those are my goals in the short term. Like, I find like short-term goals are easier for me than long-term goals. Like my 5-year plan, I don't know, you never know what's going to happen in 5 years.
I was gonna ask you about it. Yeah, yeah, great. I've learned so much during these past days because I really care about learning more about you, and I've consumed every interview that you did with any and I learned that you are very kind and very caring about the world and that you want to share and give, and this is what I am about as well. And it's great to meet other people that are on the same page with me. And I'm wondering because I see you doing so many things, and so you're so creative, and you need so much energy. How do you stay productive and you keep that energy inside you going? How do you do it?
I don't know, like, for me, I think like I said earlier, I take it, step by step. One thing that I found really helpful that I don't always do, but I would like to do more is I write down
Yes.
what I'm going to accomplish for, let's say, the day or for the week. And I try to like make a little spot for a check mark because it's I become more productive that way when I have to check. It's like almost like like an accountability almost. And so that's something that's really helped me. And and I love watching like pop videos, hip hop videos. I love getting inspiration from travel channels. So like I find inspiration from film, TV, different people like yourself. Like I find inspiration from all of these different cultures and different styles of music that are constantly, I'm like wanting to change. I'm like, my sound changed so much from, when I started like working on my album to now. Like it's like I was putting together, my assistant and I were putting together a reel, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I wrote this like 10 years ago. Like it's just like so different, it was like a different person almost. And so as I evolve and as I grow and experience more things, I think like, my sound changes and evolves naturally. I don't even know if I answered the question. Like I went off onto a tangent, but I saw someone had asked before if they're in high school and they don't know if they should start learning an instrument, but like absolutely, it's never too late, it's never too early. Learning an instrument is one of the best exercises for your brain to prevent dementia and early onset
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. And so these are all things that it's like exercising your body. You want to exercise your brain, there are like a couple really solid ways to do that. Learning an
Um,
instrument, learning a
you
language.
know Jim Quick. Have you read this book or no?
Which one?
Limitless from Jim Quick.
Of course, Jim Quick. I love Jim Quick. Well, I wish he was here. We should have invited him. He's my friend. That was one of the last performances I did before the lockdown was for Jim and his book release. So I got his book during COVID. Actually, it shipped during COVID. But yes, absolutely, I love Jim.
Fantastic. Do you read books? I was going to ask you if you read books, and what's your favorite book that you recommend to people? Other than
Limitless is amazing. Super Genes, another book by Rudolph Tanzi and Deepak Chopra. I love nonfiction. I love science books. I think part of it's because, I spent a lot of time learning piano, and so I often feel like I don't know enough about science and math. or you know, just human behavior and psychology. I'm so interested in that and like horror movies and horror books. So those are my two favorite things. But yes, you know, it's hard nowadays to
Yeah.
read more than 140 characters at a time. You know, it's like when people do long captions, I'm like, what is this long caption? But it's sad. You know, I actually just started a little book club with my nephew, and Questlove's newest book about music history is our first book project together, because I also want to learn to read more, and I want him as a 9-year-old to read more, you know, so he's not just reading captions and tweets.
What's your piano practice routine? Do you have a routine that you practice every day, or you just randomly, after so many years that you play the piano, you just do what you feel like doing?
Listen, I have the smallest hands in the world. Like my hands are so little, honestly, like they're so tiny. And so I really do have to practice every day, and I have to stay on top of working. But I don't practice like the way I used to, like Czerny and like Hannon. Like I don't do that anymore because, you know, a lot of the music that I'm working on and writing, I can practice a lot of the technique in like the music itself. So I find it more fun to do like study Chopin etudes and like things like that. Even Liszt, which is like his hands were twice the size of mine, but you know, um, some of that
So,
technical work I can do when I'm actually like learning something fun.
talking about Chopin, what's your favorite nocturne from Chopin? I've heard you playing lots of
Oh my God, what's my favorite Nocturne? Oh, like E minor maybe. Like I love that. I loved it so much I recorded it. The E minor, da, na, 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 you know, it's, I like, you know, part of the reason I like Chopin is I use Chopin for music therapy. Like when I'm feeling sad or down or depressed, like, right? Like Chopin, like it's just like the go-to, like, even though like, you know, we are pianists, so we don't have vibrato. We can't imitate vibrato or that beautiful sound that a violin or a cello or a vocal can do. But Chopin is able to like, you hold that long note and you just like, it feels like as good as a vibrato. So like, you know, it's hard, depends on my day, but usually the sad stuff. The long melodies I love. Like, you know, I play Chopin Ballade #1. Uh, I remember playing that, and I remember thinking like not loving it. I was like, it's just so like, it's beautiful and it has a beautiful melody, but it wasn't that like long line that I love, that he's so good at.
That's fantastic. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite what?
Quote.
Oh my
Your
God.
favorite.
My favorite quote? Um, You know what? Actually, one of my favorite quotes is from my friend, my best friend, Sanaa Lathan. She's an amazing actress. And she said to me something like, it was probably 7 years ago, that stuck with me. She was like, do it now. And I was such a person that like would be like, oh, I'll do it later, whether it came to like calling for a bike and soul cycle, or whether it came to asking for a favor or asking for help or reaching out to someone for an idea. I would always like wait and think exactly, and think that like opportunity was always going to be there. And you know, she was like, do it now, do it now. And so that's like really was a quote that actually I think about all the time, because I'll be like, oh, I don't feel like writing this, but no, just do it now. Do it in the moment, like while you're thinking of it. Don't wait.
I love that. Let's talk about your debut album a bit. I just listened the whole thing so many times, and I
You
just
did?
repeated.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
oh, are you kidding? It's one of the best things I've ever heard in the last period, together with Alicia's keys. The keys, you are so great. I know you know it, but you're being humble, and that's a great quality of you. But I want to talk to you about and really quote this piece of spoken wisdom and words from Deepak Chopra. That was really great. Feel the piece is called Suffering, and I really quote this beautiful phrase: feel the anguish, feel the suffering, feel deep sorrow in your heart, but from that sorrow allow the birth of a desire for an action. This is so great. This is so great, and I really, it's about staying conscious, and really, I'm so grateful for this collaboration that you had, because you're absolutely contributing to that, to raising awareness. Either it is about emotional and healing, either it's about your contribution to the world with the United Nations, and human trafficking. You do so many things, and it's really admirable. I love that what you do.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and
Thank
you have to keep
you.
going. But a lot of people are looking up to you. You're a huge inspiration to all of us, and yeah, you're a huge example of the human potential for greatness. I really believe that. I was thinking about it myself, and congratulations for being you all this time, and keep going.
Thank you.
Well, I really want to ask you, what's your favorite piece from your album? Your
Oh,
favorite, because I like
gosh.
music,
Like,
and I know I have my
it's not
favorites.
like, like, it depends on the mood, right? When I'm like, when we were talking about Chopin nocturnes earlier, like, it really depends on what mood I'm in. I think part of what I wanted to do with my album is make it almost like a mixtape, so it's not all one exact sound, because like the album, like the way that Deepak speaks, it kind of evolves, right? And you can listen to it however you choose. But how I wrote it was, it had like kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it had that story, that arc, and so when I'm feeling like I want to turn up or when I want to work out, I go to Act Two, which is called Suffering. It opens with Deepak suffering, and has like the harder beats. But I think like Flower Through Concrete is special to me in terms of like a favorite, because I never felt like a composer really before. Like I never felt that I should ever compose. In fact, even when I was doing film music early on, like I would, rather than writing something, I would send great music, great string music. Um, to directors and be like, you should use this and instead. And because I felt like there's so much great music out there, and I think part of what classical music has done is, show us so much music and so much amazing music that you feel like, oh my God, why would I even compose? So Flower Through Concrete was like one of the first. I didn't expect to put it on my album. I didn't expect to compose anything. It was all going to be classical or covers. And the label was, so my label, Sony Masterworks, was just so supportive about me exploring, like, composing more. And so Flower Through Concrete was really my first single with them. That was like my music. And it was like, we did a lot of press around it. We shot a video. It was like so scary to me. Like, it's like your own music. It's not like, oh, I'm playing Chopin, so like if you don't like it, like he wrote it, not me. But like, so that was, I think that like overall, that's like a very special piece to me.
I'm so happy for you that you are in a label that encourages you to be yourself. And I heard you talking about risks, and some labels were not ready to do that. And I'm so happy for you that you found the
Yeah,
people
I'm
to
so
do
I'm
that.
so grateful.
So we don't have much time, I know, but I want to ask you, what's your opinion on compliments? What do you think about compliments? I really thought about this. I've heard a conversation, an interview with Jimi Hendrix, and he was asked, "What's your opinion about compliments?" And he says, I feel like they're a distraction. You know,
What do you
from
mean by compliments? Like, what do you mean?
when you get compliments from an interview or any other, like this type of thing, how do you think about the compliments?
You know, I guess like the same way I think about non-compliments, like I try not to focus at all like too much on like compliments, including insults or negative commentary, because I treat them kind of equally, because you can't like really get too hyped up about when someone's like obsessed with you or loves you, or if they don't like you, it's like, I don't think it's
Yeah,
healthy, especially with like, social media being right there where everyone can be like, I don't like this, I don't like this. People always ask me, they're like, why don't you delete negative comments if you get them? And I never delete them, because it's like, that's just how someone feels, and you just go with it. Not everyone's going to agree with what you do. And I think, taking it as light as you would taking compliments the same way you would take an insult, you just have to brush it off and not take it too seriously.
yes, yes, preach. This is great. Yeah, I love that. I'm really curious because you are in a phase of your life where everything is, focused. You have a schedule. You are steady. And I'm wondering if you had a time of your life that you were feeling lost, and if there was one, what did you do to get out of it? I'm hoping that I get an answer that will be helpful for others. You know.
Yeah. Well, like we talked about earlier, I was so lucky to have music as an outlet for, if I was feeling down. Um, I think listening to music, whether you're performing or just listening passively, is such a great tool to get you out of that lost feeling. Because like music has that unique ability where if you listen to a certain song, you feel more powerful. Like Deepak was saying, that power, that feeling you have, that anguish. You can turn that into action, or you can turn that into something positive, right? You hear a song and you're like, yes, We Will Rock You by Queen. You're like, yes, you feel like a winner, right? You feel like you can win. And so I think, as I always say, listening to music, studying music, or just chilling out to music when you're feeling down can be really, really powerful and be really helpful when you're trying to get out of a funk. Because I think we all feel lost. I mean, it's very easy to feel lost, especially not just during a pandemic, but even before the pandemic. There's so much going on. You have access to so much information, and you often feel like, what should I be listening to? Who should I be listening to? What should I be watching? And you have to be, I think you have to really take care of yourself, and you have to take everything with a grain of salt, and read a lot, read a lot, and use music. I would always say use music as a tool to get you out of that place and take you to another place. Music can do that. It can take you to another place if you're feeling lost.
I know music can be very meditative. Do you also practice meditation separately?
Yes, I actually started recently. I was introduced to meditation 100 years ago, before it was a thing, and before it was mainstream and popular. And the scientific studies I read about meditation, it was like reverses aging. All of the things that the aging brain. All of these things that are so important. People care so much about health, especially now. Health is wellness is kind of a new fad almost. And meditation is definitely something that I would recommend to everyone. Luckily for you and I, practicing music is almost like meditating. So when we're like playing music or learning music, like often we'll enter that meditative state. So we're lucky in that way. But I think, if you can't do that, definitely meditating it's important. I started like in October again this past year. It really helped me get through some really stressful times. October was a crazy stressful month for me, and I felt like I needed the meditation, and so that's when I started. It made a huge difference in my stress levels. Like if I was stressed, it would bring me down. It would just clear my mind. It's great.
It's beautiful to find out about you. It makes me love you even more. Yeah, it's great. So, well, where, where is it? I have to talk about so many interesting things. What your favorite piano soloist besides you, on the Instagram world, or in the world in general?
Well, like my two favorite pianists aren't really on Instagram, although Yevgeny Kissin is on Instagram, but I love Yevgeny Kissin. But I
Yes.
dive for Christian Zimmerman. Like I love the way he played the Chopin. I love the way he played the Chopin Piano Concerto Number 2. Like even like he like conducts while he's playing too. Like it's just he's so good. He's one of my favorites. And then Yevgeny Kissin, one of my favorites of all time, and obsessed.
So, this is great. I got a signed copy of his work, his composition from Henle Verlag.
Oh
I
my God.
wanna. It's crazy. Yeah, it's so great. This world of Instagram and social media, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And this would be to talk to you.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Remember we used to carry around those Henley books? Like now everyone can just use an iPad.
yeah,
Carry like
oh, great.
like so enormously heavy books, but Henley was like lighter. Soft cover.
Um, this is great. I forgot to ask you in the beginning, but how did you come up with the flower name? Does it has to do anything with your sign that you are a Leo, 6th of August? I researched that.
No, you know, Chloe Flower became like my original Facebook name because everyone would call me Chloe Flower, like separately. Like my best friend in London called me Chloe Flower randomly, and like Kimora Lee Simmons, when I met her, she was like, "You're like a flower," so she called me Chloe Rose. And then my ex-boyfriend, my first boyfriend, he would call me Chloe Flower. And then my parents called me Chloe Flower when I was little because I would bruise really like they were like, my dad's like, you're like a pedal. When you touch a pedal, it bruises. So like it was like 5 or 6 different people called me Chloe Flower, and so it just became like my Facebook name, and then it became like my stage name, and so, so that's just how it happened. It was very organic and natural. Like I didn't really know when it happened or like how it just happened.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is one of the best ways to have, literally fantastic. Wow. And now you have debuted your first vinyl of your album,
Yeah,
which is these things. Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I'm gonna send it to you. Do
Oh
you
my
have
God, you are the greatest. Oh my God, I don't have vinyl, but I will get one
No,
just
I'm
for
gonna
you.
send
You
you a
know.
package. I'm gonna send you a package. My assistant is on
Oh,
somewhere, hopefully. I think he's on, but I'll tell him to send it to you.
so kind. Wait, I would. I mean, I'm losing my speech, but I really want to meet you one day.
Yeah,
When I come to New York,
no. Do two piano.
and yeah, and that piano that you have from oh my God, the other one,
Oh, the Liberace one. I can't show. It's too messy. I can't show you.
yeah,
My
this is
apartment
great.
is. But yes, you have to come over. We can do two pianos because I literally have two pianos right next to each other.
Yeah, this is you're a legendary artist. What's heard that you are really admire Beyonce and Nicole. You know,
Sure, singer.
uh, yes, exactly. I can't
Me.
pronounce it. Yeah. And what's I really like that you bring this whole vibe into the classical world. This is one of the greatest things that you do. And I was curious, what's your dream collab or a person that you haven't had the chance to meet yet? Or I know you have worked with Celine Dion and many more artists like Nas, the list goes on. This is great, but what's one person that you haven't had the chance to meet yet and you really want to?
You know, I would love to work with Beyonce. Like, she's such a legend and she's such an amazing performer. Like, just to even be, like, if we did a song together, like, I would want to be in the studio with her 24/7 and figure out, like, what she's doing, like, how her process, like, everything. Because she's so, one of those artists, her and, like, Ariana, even, like, Mariah, like, they're so involved in the writing process. And that's so me, you know, in the mixing. They're involved in every step. And just to learn from an artist like that would be amazing. You know, even though they're vocalists, there's so much you can learn, the right questions to ask, the mixing part. There's so many stages to creating a song, not just writing the music, but the recording part. I think that would be really cool.
So valuable to be there in the room with the legends. I know you said that you were asked before, what do you do when you go with people like in this legendary level? I'm just looking at the people how they work. I really like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
learn
it's fantastic.
always learning.
Have you ever thought about taking it even higher to singing or rapping? Because I know you love rap, music and hip hop. Have you ever thought about that?
Oh my God, I cannot sing or rap, but like my producer is Babyface, and one time he asked me, he was like, "Do you want to sing background vocals on something? I need a background scratch singer." And I'm like, "Oh, no thanks. Like, no." Like that's somewhere I don't feel comfortable yet. I mean, I wouldn't say like I'll never do it. I can sing in tune, but I just don't feel strong as a singer. So I just don't see myself doing it. But you know, I would never say never.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, what should we expect from you musically speaking?
Well, you know, my vinyl comes out February 18th, which I'm so excited about finally. And, you know, I think new music, I'm going to be working on new music, new collaborations. I have a collaboration with Dionne Warwick that I'm excited to release that we've already recorded. You know, a bunch more singles and trying new things. I think that's the beautiful thing about being an instrumentalist is that we can try so many new things and we don't have to sound like a certain genre, right? We can sound classical one day, we can add hip hop one day, we can do something that's more jazz. Like we can do all that, and I don't think that um, uh, there are any limits to that. Like Jim's other book, No Limit, Limitless. Yeah, Limitless.
I'm so excited for the future, what you have for us. Oh my God, you have no idea. I'm also experimenting with crystals at the moment. I have this piece of technology over here, and
What
I
is
really
that? That's amazing. Tell everyone what that is. Like I'm interviewing.
you have some time to interact with the people
Yeah.
here because we haven't. Yeah,
Show
thank
me.
you so much.
What
So
is that?
you guys have the chance to ask Chloe Flower something, anything right now.
Hi. I know there were people like talking and I didn't see. I can't see.
Oh, and your side that loves fashion. Oh my God, I love that too. You know.
I'm like in sweats. I answered.
Okay, I lost you for a second. Hey guys, just hold on. Ooh, that's a great question. I'm 17 years old. I've been studying the piano. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Ooh, that's a great question. Stan, I'm looking at your question. 1 second, Chloe's gonna come back, I'm sure. Yeah, this is great. Thank you all guys for being here. Hold on, hold on. Uh, we got this. So,
Sorry, I'm back. I like
so,
pressed the wrong thing. I don't know what happened.
yeah. Okay, we have a question from the audience. Vanessa is asking, I am 17 years old. I've been studying the piano for some years and I've never played an etude. What etudes do you think I should start with? Hmm.
You know, what we were talking earlier about the Chopin etudes. I think it depends on, you know, how advanced you are, how comfortable you feel, but the Chopin etudes can be very difficult, but they're so good to practice slowly, which you can definitely do, especially if you can read music. So I would say if you want to play something beautiful and play something that's actually really challenging and good for finger technique, Czerny and Chopin would be great. I think Czerny is more technical, but Chopin can be more beautiful, but you can still play a lot of the Chopin etudes slowly. And it's really good to practice slow. I often like have to do that and play like fast songs really slow. It's harder to play slow than fast.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, San Piano is asking, if you could add 2 hours to a day, how would you spend it? It's a great question. Thank you for that, San.
Oh my God, if I could add, I feel like you're adding like it's adding like money to my bank account. Um, I would probably try and spend that like an extra 2 hours a day. I would probably still do the same thing. I would probably be playing more piano and writing more music because that's just how I am. But or 2 hours a day cumulatively, I would love to be able to like do more activities like dance. I love dancing, so like to take dance classes. I really want to do that, and I often find I don't have enough time like to go to a dance studio and do a session. Like it's usually a 2 hour session, so I would dance more probably.
That's beautiful. You're, this is great. Oh, the shades of
आप
are
कैसे
amazing.
हैं? Hindi थोड़ी थोड़ी समझती है. That I like tried to learn Hindi at one point. I
Ooh,
hope India is definitely on my list of places I've never been and really want to go. Not only perform, but just also like go there and explore. India, a lot of Southeast Asian culture comes from Indian culture, so you see a lot of similarities in architecture and food, music style, dance in Thailand. Like as you would see in Cambodia, in India. So I have a lot of love for India. I love you, and she's an amazing pianist. The Shades of Passion. I love her. She's done
make
the
sure.
Possible Challenge a few times. Love
I
you.
have to. Yeah, I love India too.
Yeah.
Guys, you are amazing. Oh, oh, okay. My mother just joined the live.
I wish
That's
my mom would join.
awesome. My mother is asking what does Chloe, the name Chloe means, you know?
Chloe is like the goddess of agriculture originally, I think. So they did an Urban Dictionary thing, and I didn't actually do it. I don't know what it means, but I think it means like, you know, goddess of agriculture, which makes sense, right? You know, I feel like as a musician, as an artist, you really appreciate um, natural sound and the earth, and taking care of the earth is something I've always been excited about. And I've been really into like saving the planet since I was little. I did like I drew all these little posters for Earth Day all the time. And, you know,
Oh
so
my God, yeah.
you just,
Okay. Are you back? Okay, you're back. Uh, can you hear me? You guys.
yeah,
Okay,
I
awesome.
lost you for a minute there.
Me too. So Chloe, yes, amazing. Well, you should know that there is a star with your name. Really, there is a star in the sky named Chloe
Oh,
602.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. My
I
mother
didn't
told
know that. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Love you.
Yeah.
Your mom is the best. That's why
Uh,
you're great. That's why you're so amazing. You have a good mom. That's great. I love her. Chloe,
ooh.
start doing day in the life YouTube. Yeah, you know, actually, I take back my previous answer. If I had 2 more hours a day, I would focus it on like doing YouTube and like social media. You know, I'm so like, that's like, I've always wanted to do like a day in the life. And it's like, my life is like, you know, I sit at the piano and I just write, but um, it's fun, you know, it's like interesting, you know, still if I could like connect my computer and show like my learning. I'm still learning, you know, I'm always learning, and I don't know how to use all the software exactly right. So it's like always like, you know, something I'm always learning something new, watching a different YouTube tutorial, or like going, having fun, like going to fun places. Like I would say like the most fun that like my most fun experiences are not on Instagram. They're in my camera roll. You know, you can't post all that good stuff on Instagram. But I've done some fun stuff that may be fun to like, you know, follow me around. The Chloe show.
These are questions, great questions. Sam Piano is asking, what is a moment that seemed insignificant first but meant a lot looking back?
Um, you know, it's funny. Like I think everywhere you go, everything you do, you should always do your best, and really do your best at no matter what you're doing, whether you're playing the piano, going to a concert, playing in a concert, taking out the garbage, like any kind of task, because I think all of those little moments turn into something. Like, you know, there'll be like when I went to Kenny Babyface's first concert, I didn't know I was going to his concert. I just was there to um, be in the audience, and I had no idea who he was, and but yet that moment turned into me signing with him, which changed my whole life, right? It turned me into a writer, turned me into a producer. And you know, had I not like taken advantage of that moment by being there and being present, and like, and you know, I didn't want to go to that concert. So like I went like because my friend really wanted me to go, and I was like, fine, I'm gonna go with you. But it's like that turned into like my whole career, right? I mean, my whole career is based off of that one decision. And so I think like, you know, being present and just being present makes you see opportunities and makes you see things that you might not otherwise see. And you should, you know, rather than just always being on your phone, like I was like talking to Kenny backstage, not knowing who he was. I was like, do you want some food? And, you know, he's like, no, this is my food. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I was present, but therefore, because I had that conversation, because I was there and talked about music, like he remembered me the next time I reached out to him. 3 years later, I didn't talk to him. I didn't have his info. I reached out to him on Google 3 years later. And so I think like
Wow.
that was like a big moment that, you know, could have been nothing if I hadn't gone, or even if I had gone and just been on my phone the whole time and like, you know, just been in my own world.
Also, I remember a moment that you said that it looks very, you know, appropriate to this question, is that you didn't take the plane and the plane crashed
Oh yeah,
2010,
that was a
right?
significant moment. Yeah, I mean, that was me being like, again, living in the
Jesus.
moment, like not really caring that I had a flight, no problem changing my plans, you know, just going with my gut, going with my instincts. And it wasn't like I thought the plane was going to crash. I just really wanted to spend another day in Angkor Wat because I felt like it was so magical that I didn't have enough time there. And I thought, you know, I've been on so many planes. I might as well just change my flight. It's $40. Like, I'm just going to change, like, just go tomorrow. And that plane crashed and everybody died. They couldn't find the plane for 3 days. It was all over the news when I was in Cambodia in my hotel. It was crazy. Like, I would have been dead in what, 2004, 2006, something. Like, so crazy.
Yeah,
That was like paper tickets. I still have my ticket somewhere.
yeah. So that means something. You are here to,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, to
And
do
that was
something.
how I learned about human trafficking, was because of that moment. Like, because I didn't get on that plane and because I saw that plane crash, I decided to like take a bike ride into like the weirdest part of Cambodia, into these suburbs, and I saw these, you know, young children in the red light district, and I was like, this is a travesty. Like, how can I have been traveling the world? I had just come from 7 cities. Like, how do I not know about child trafficking and sex trafficking and human trafficking? And so that was like a real moment for me. That's how I started working with the Somali Mom Foundation, which was then called AFASIP.
Yeah, that's a great way to discover, man. You know, life is like the whole,
Never know.
yeah, it's fantastic. Do you have any plans to any plans to play in public in this year?
Mark Cashin, oh my God, he's like my most like amazing, like educated, like non-Philistine person that I know. I was supposed to perform in February, but I'm not sure what's happening now with Omicron. But hopefully, you know, hopefully as things start to open up, I think people are being really cautious right now, especially in New York. Everything has to be indoors. But yeah, the plan is hopefully to perform as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Mark Cashin always has good music recommendations. Everyone, he's so, and art.
CVS pharmacy. I'm a cellist and I have been playing for 7 years. I'm correct, Chloe. You did okay the cello at one point.
Yeah, I did. You know, I played the violin and the cello for a little. I played the violin for a little bit and then I switched to the cello. I think I was 6 when I stopped playing the violin. It was either 6 or 7. My mom said it was 6, but I feel like I was older, but who knows? Yeah, and I switched to cello. I love the cello, that mellow sound. It was just like the instrument was so big for me. I mean, like it's smaller than the piano, but um, I loved it. I just wasn't like, I wasn't as good. You know, my tone wasn't like professional level. So I kind of did it as a hobby. And it's really been so helpful for me actually learning the violin and the cello when I write arrangements and when I write string parts. It's like sometimes I like play them as I'm, you know, writing, and it gives me a feeling of
Yeah,
how it should move. And I can help like, you know, talk to like my session players and make changes like, because I know the instrument.
this is great. I'm really impressed by uh, you recorded the whole album by yourself at this place, right? Uh,
Not the whole album, but half of it. A little more than half of it I did here, you know, because I had a whole different album scheduled, and then, you know, I changed in that time, and I decided to create some more, like more of my own compositions, and I added some new producers. So,
nice. What's your DAW that you use? I'm just curious.
which my what?
DAW, Ableton Live, Logic
Oh,
or
no, I use I try to use Ableton. Do you use Ableton? I use Logic. I use Logic and Pro Tools. Pro Tools for recording mostly, but mostly Logic. I just set up I've been recording here. My tour manager came and set up all the mics here, so I'm recording right now. But I'm using Logic at the moment. I'm going to see how that goes because I've normally just record solo in Pro Tools, but I'm going to see how Logic is. It should be good. But Ableton's like what all my producers use. They love it. Because I started on Logic, it's like really hard for me to switch over to Ableton. I don't know any of the shortcuts.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like I'm like this on Logic. Like I'm like so fast. So I don't want to like switch.
Oh, so a designer is interested about you. Where is that? Yeah, do you have a styling team? Of course you do. Or are you open to new designers?
Always. I love new designers. I don't have a stylist. I don't work with a stylist because I'm really picky about what I wear, but also like I just find it so much easier to just like shop and like figure out what I like. And I actually fully enjoy shopping and fashion. So I get a lot of utility out of shopping myself. So I do not normally work with a stylist. I did work with a stylist a couple of times. I love Kali. She's like one of my favorites. She styled Missy Copeland, and I love her, but I've worked with her a few times. But other than that, like I just kind of wear whatever I feel like. But I found a lot, like my When I See You Again, I found that designer on Instagram, this new designer, young guy. I love him. And he, I ordered his dress online. Like I just like went to his website and ordered it. I do that a lot.
Awesome. Well, is there something else that you want to share with us? I don't want to take your time from you,
No.
take advantage of you.
Yeah, learn an instrument, everyone. Learn an instrument. That's what I want to say. It's good for you.
Say that again because I didn't hear it.
Learn an instrument. Learn an instrument. It's never too late. Never too early. Never too late.
Yes, I agree with you. Time for a Vogue story. Chloe's a living legend. Yeah, I agree. Maybe you're next on the 73 questions with Vogue. You know? That would be dope. Okay. Well, thank you so much for this. I wish you a great, great day. And all the best with your album. May you break all the records and every dream come true. I'm really excited to meet you in the future. I will definitely send you a message. And yeah, I'm feeling blessed and grateful that this thing happened. And I will be right there, support you in your journey, and enjoy it. Yes. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. It was so fun. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.